Hi, girls. Because this episode is pre recorded, I wanted to pop in and give this quick announcement. I am hosting a giveaway. The giveaway is for a $10 Amazon gift card. The rules to enter are simple. All you have to do is follow my Instagram at selfcareblackgirls. Then you have to either subscribe to my notifications or create an account on my blog at selfcareblackgirls.com and DM me a screenshot or picture for proof. Then comment below on the giveaway picture, tagging two friends and telling me your favorite color. They can enter too. There will be no more than 3 entries per person, so make sure you're looking out. And that's all you have to do. The extra entry options are to send a screenshot of you following me on one of my listening platforms, or to send a screenshot of you rating/reviewing me on iTunes. The giveaway started on August 12th and will run until September 4th, and the drawing will be on September 7th. Good luck, everyone. Now back to the episode. Hi, girls. Today's episode is a very, very special one. It's the first interview for this podcast with the one and only Miss Empriś Durden. Empriś Durden is a postmodern Afrofuturist and self-love poet living in Los Angeles, California. Read her latest book, Self-Love 101, Art is Healing, on Amazon and at emprisdurden.com. This hilarious, beautifully written poetry collection encourages healing from heartbreak. At times, the book reads like a carefully curated Twitter timeline. At other times, the book unravels like a sacred but modern prayer for the strength to be gentle with oneself, to skip over negativity like a video ad says, to eat pastoral interludes for breakfast, and to practice the daily art of self-love. The author of 3 books has performed at the Poetry Lounge, World Stage Performance Gallery, Beyond Baroque, Tia Chuchu's Central Culture, Nutra Institute Museum and Gallery, private events, and Washington University in St. Louis. Her work has been featured on the Free Black Women's Library LA and Good Black Reads. Empress wants to help other women realize that a lot of people look for love in others when we should really look inward and upward. Empress's ultimate goal is to secure a 3-book deal with Andrew McMeel Publishing. So ladies, please give a warm welcome to Miss Empriś Durden. Hi girls, today we have a special guest. I've been so excited to work with her because her book that she just released, which she will be talking about later, is really good. I loved it. I read straight through it for however long it took me. But please give a warm welcome to Miss Empriś Durden.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, BB, for having me on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing well. Just a little bit about me. I'm a postmodernist poet living in Los Angeles, California. My book is called Self-Love 101, Art is Healing, on Amazon and emprisdurden.com. I'll start with a poem.
Okay, go ahead.
It's called My Bronze Adonis. He was beautiful, with gold thread hair and marble skin. My aluminum, titanium, platinum, diamond man. He gave me cubic zirconium kisses and hugs made of stolen pipe copper. His silver sapphire eyes gleamed whenever I touched him. Yes, my Adonis was bronze. My man was grand. My man was metal, like the pole he beat me with. So that's a little intro, show rather than tell, right?
Right. All right, so is there anything extra that you'd like to tell the listeners about yourself?
Well, I consider my work postmodernist because it's steeped as if it was a Twitter timeline. It reads as if it were a social media immersion. I'm starting a whole new genre of poetry, but I pay homage to my ancestors, people who came before me, such as Nair Wayid, Rupi Kaur, Alex Ellis, Sonia Sanchez, someone who laid the foundation for me to come in as a Black female poet. So I'm excited today to give y'all some insight into the book, and I'd appreciate it if you, at the end, if you like what I have to say, if you would support by purchasing. And if not, that's cool too.
Great. All of her information will be mentioned at the end of this episode, and it will be on the blog, so make sure you all go check that out. Okay, I have two interesting questions that I'd like to ask you before we get into the questions about your book. Is that okay?
Perfect.
All right, so the first one is, what's your favorite restaurant, and what's your go-to order from there?
Well, being a writer, I spend a lot of time in cafes. I definitely want to give a shout out to Haroon Cafe in Leimert Park, which is black owned. They have a lot of nice smoothies there. But a good runner-up is Teapot in North Hollywood. I like their matcha, like tea lattes. So anything that's caffeinated, a little bit sweet, and I can write in there. Good little atmosphere, little plants.
Nice. All right. And the other one is, who are the three most influential people to you?
Definitely. So in the dedication, suppose I could read that.
That's fine if you want to. You can go ahead.
Dedicated to my mother and father. Of course, shout out to mom and dad. Mom, we made it. No, I'm just kidding. To those, we in this. To those who came before me, Nair Waid, Washan Shire, Alex L., Rupi Kaur, Irsa Dali Ward, Uple Chalasa, Sonia Sanchez, Julia Cameron. Thank you for making me believe. Dear reader, I wrote this for you. So my top three, of course, that I prepared would be Sonia Sanchez, number one, Julia Cameron, because she wrote The Artist's Way, this book that changed my life about being more creative, unblocking creative people who feel like they can't be creative. And then Nair Waid, because she is the forefront of this self-love Insta-poet movement. She self-published. She wrote about this in an Instagram post that she since deleted, but none of the major publishers would publish her, so she did it herself. So definitely want to pay homage to her. And then Sonia Sanchez was first because, she was back in, she's still alive, shout out to Sonia, but I just really love her work, and if you don't mind, I prepared two excerpts I'd like to read from her, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Go for it.
So this one is from I've Been a Woman, New and Selected Poems by Sonia Sanchez. And just a little excerpt. 8th grade, we are black, beautiful, and our blackness sings out, while America wanders dumb with her wet bowels. Just thought that was, wordsmith. And then the excerpt, not a full poem, but an excerpt from Homegirls and Hand Grenades, which won the American Book Award. As a black woman walking down a corridor of tears, looking neither to the left or the right, pulling my history with bruised heels. Just corridor of tears, America wandering dumb with her wet bowels. Like, since I write in very short form, I just find Sonia Sanchez's work to be just so punchy. And she's, I think she's in her 80s or something like that. Not to give away her age, but she's definitely a forefront, a trailblazer, if you will. So yeah, definitely pay homage to her.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, they really did set the bar for us and, help us get out to where we want to be and where we would need to be, and we chose that career path. Nice. Okay, so are you ready to answer a couple of questions about your book, Self-Love 101 Artist Healing?
Definitely, Phoebe. I really like the podcast, by the way. I think it's so important for black women to practice self-care. Women in general, people in general, but especially black women.
Yes, because we carry so much on our shoulders. We do. All right. So
sorry.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, right. They ask, why are black women so strong? It's because we have to be, So I just want to help people become gentle, lean into their gentleness.
Right. Okay, so the first question that I have for you is that you recently released your book, Self-Love 101 Artist Healing. What was your inspiration behind it?
So the story behind it is I thought I found my soulmate. Like, I loved him, and he didn't love me back, so I felt kind of, like, sad about that. I felt unlovable, just as a general trend, because this heartbreak kept happening to me. And I found that a lot of people I talked to, especially other black women, kind of feel the same feeling of being unlovable. And I got to the point where I was just like, this is going to keep happening. Friends are going to keep backstabbing me. The men I love are still going to keep not loving me back. You know, what's the point of all this? And I was honestly, like, didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I was suicidal. And in that moment, like, God saved me, like Jesus Christ. And I found that through loving him and through loving myself and taking a shower, listening to Kid Cudi, his song Wounds, from, I think his album is Passion, Pain, and Demon Flame, and just relying on art, music, writing, you know, those all brought me out of that dark place. And I want to help other people get to that place of healing, which is never over. I'm still healing. It's still a process, but I want to help people heal from heartbreak and show them that there's love in more places than you think, to quote myself. So that was inspiration, and a lot of people have said the book has helped them deal with negative emotions, deal with their heartbreak. I'm not a licensed psychologist or a doctor, but I feel like the feeling of being heartbroken is universal. And moreover, I'm starting this new genre of postmodernism. My work isn't, not to shade anyone or anything, but my work isn't like, I don't want to say basic, like it's not like, yo, like, love yourself, that's cool and everything, but I'm really trying to speak my truth and write something that's never been done before in this whole internet, postmodernist, Afrofuturist format, and be a trailblazer, and start a new genre. So that is the inspiration behind this work.
Wow, I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I'll pray for you, continue to pray for you, through your process of healing. Thank you for sharing that, though.
Appreciate it, baby. I accept that prayer. Thank you.
All right, the next question that I have for you is, could you describe a high or a low point while writing, or did it all just come smoothly?
Wow, that's a good one. I don't know, it's like I had this vision, I don't want to say a vision, but this manifestation, I guess, this picture in my mind, this visualization of the title, of the cover, which plays homage to Nair Wayeed's book Salt, because it's plain white, very minimalist, because I want people to, there's so much clutter in this society now, so many colors, so many pieces of information being thrown at us. I want my book to be a piece of solace, a white, clean slate to heal from. But that's definitely paying homage to Nair Wayeed and her book Salt. So the high point is definitely when it was done, but the low point was definitely, there were times when I didn't think it was going to happen. I was in school, a lot of things were going on. Once I graduated, I spent like a whole month preparing this proposal to Andrews McNeil and to find an agent, and I still don't have an agent, I don't have representation, but my dream is still to go to get a deal with Andrews McNeil. So the low point was just the daily drudge behind it, but there's also a beauty in that daily drudge. And once I accepted that it's not about just getting the book out, it's about every day I need to write 3 hours a day, or however many hours. Every day I need to write one poem. I kind of lean into the process. So it definitely wasn't smooth, to answer your question. But now that this one is done, and my other book, Digital Sunset, Digital Sunrise, which is a vaporwave love story, I feel more confident about books 4 and 5, which are coming out soon. Like, I'm working on them now to submit them. So, yeah.
All right. Well, more power to you, and good luck with books 4 and 5. I will definitely be purchasing and going back and purchasing the other two, too, because I really love this one.
Appreciate it, baby.
All right. So the next question that I have for you about your book is, what is your favorite chapter from it?
Well, I have a few of my favorite poems that I like to read. So that's cool. Maybe I'll explain a little bit about each of them.
Okay.
So, I say this is number 5, I believe. you know, there's this really cool new show on TV right now. Oh, all those life-changing things, they can wait. Roland C.K. So I really like that poem because it's really real. Like, oftentimes you get distracted by the new TV show. You know, sometimes I write for TV and film also, and I'm like, this is research, you know, like watching Netflix is research. But really, the life-changing things, like, we get distracted from that. And the society wants us to be distracted from actual life-changing things. Like Toni Morrison recently just passed away, and one of the quotes that, circulating is like, racism is a distraction. And if we just focus on, like, end quote. And if we focus on doing the work of writing, making art, you doing your podcast, people doing their businesses, us supporting black businesses, then that's more productive than being distracted. Another poem I really like is on a similar vein. Do the echoes of who you always wanted to be keep you up at night too, or is it just me? Again, there's something, a dream everyone has, and go out there and do it. Same vein. But if you're happy, they can't sell you things.
Right.
People tend to like that one. Like, they want us to be unhappy. They want us to, like, the whole beauty industry is predicated on, I don't know if predicated is the word, not pretty sure, but on us not being happy with our hair, not being happy with our face, whatever, so they can sell us products to fix the problem they created. If people were just happy the way they looked, then they couldn't sell us anything. So, Another one, is there an emoji for absolving yourself of guilt through deflecting blame? I may do a whole series on emojis for emotions, but yeah, I'm guilty of deflecting blame through absolving yourself of like saying, oh, pushing the blame on other people. And in this book, I'm trying to show the process of healing, you know, trauma than healing, but in a non-narrative, like in a loosely narrative way, but in a way that's not too explicit. Another one is note to self, paint a papaya. That one I just like because sometimes you gotta remind yourself, hey, don't take life so hard, like just paint a papaya. Have a couple more.
Good.
I feel like I missed a really important lesson in school. You know, the one where they teach you to manipulate people and whatnot. Everyone else is so good at it. On this kind of vein, I like when I get more comedic, and this next book coming out will be almost entirely comedic poems because it's really leaning into the postmodernism. While this one, Self-Love 101, I really want to make commercial so there'd be no excuse why anyone couldn't pick up my work in terms of publishers. This one is very commercial, but the next one's just going to be so off the wall and weird. So here's where it gets more and more postmodern. Wi-Fi password idea, the entire Holy Bible, lunch with spirituality be like a fresh spring salad. And on a more serious note, don't mind me just tapping into the power of my ancestors. There's so much power in our mentors, our ancestors, the people who came before us. There's 1,000 people behind you at all times, so definitely tapping into that. There's no one like me. Don't be fooled. There's no one like me. Encouraging people to be confident, you know, just gotta tell them sometimes, there's no one like me.
Right. You do.
Although we all can collaborate versus compete, just sometimes you have to have that confidence to not succumb to despair. They said look inward, so I did. I have not yet recovered from the sight. I'll leave that one for interpretation. Another one, tell your son to be careful. I just might put him in a book. Explanation of that is every time someone breaks my heart, I end up writing a book. Like the other one, Digital Sunset, Digital Sunrise. Me and this guy are trapped in a computer in 1998. In the end, I say, I told him I loved him, and he said no thanks. Like most of my writing is about trying to get over heartbreak. And I'd say the best, the most amazing poem, in my opinion, of the book is definitely the last two poems. But you have to buy the book to figure out what they are.
They're very good, I promise you. I do believe I know when I was reading it, I went through and I highlighted my favorite ones, and I'm pretty sure I highlighted almost the whole book.
Oh.
But but no problem. But those two were my two of the several that I did highlight in the whole book. So I promise you, if you go buy her book, all of her information will be on my blog, and I will make an Instagram post with all her information on it, so you all will get a chance to see that, and her information will be down there as well. And then the last question that I have for you for your book is, if you had to take that whole book and sum it up into 3 words, it doesn't have to be a sentence or anything specific, it could be 3 individual words, what would they be?
Self-love, Afrofuturist, postmodernist. Hitting with the genres. And did you want me to explain postmodernism?
You can, if you want. Yeah,
okay.
You can, because I'm pretty sure there are some listeners out there that don't know what that is.
Definitely. Again, I'm trying to make it completely. I'm making a completely new genre. And my background is in art history for undergraduates, so I'm going to give you some context in tandem with art, because art and writing have always been in tandem. So, in the olden days, people made art because royals wanted to commission portraits. Like Mona Lisa, that was a portrait commission to Da Vinci, and the faces are very realistic. In the same way, like novels are very realistic, right? Then you have modernism, where you have like Picasso doing cubism and people doing very weird things, right? And like my mom, shout out to my mom, she doesn't like Picasso or Roscoe, pretty much any of the modernists to my knowledge, because she's like, I could do that, a kid could do that. It's just like some squares, like. And many people I feel the same way. I felt that way when I first started studying art. And the explanation behind it is that Pablo Picasso, he could paint realistic faces. He deliberately chose to turn it on its head and make it like to be squares. For a detailed explanation, summarized, is that like, say in Guernica, which depicts the war in Spain, a bombing, there's a horse that's like all chopped up. Like, it's supposed to be showing the horse from different angles as it's being blown up to make a political statement about the war and whatnot. So he's using his style to make a statement about his reality, right? In the same way, modernists were making like different, I guess an example I could pull out of my head is like Kafka, Metamorphosis, like he is a roach the whole time. Ironically, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure that's specifically modernism, but in the same vein. And then postmodernism is something like very last few decades, like really weird stuff, like Scream, like Marina Abramovich. So an example of her, like she's a performance artist. She had this performance where she had herself, the artist, her body, clothed, and then like a table with like a rose, a knife, paint, food, whatever. And she told people, there's like a plaque saying, you can do anything you want to me with this. So in the beginning, it was really lighthearted, like people were just like, drawing on her, this and that. Then it made a really like dark turn, like people started cutting her, like all the men like cut her clothes off so she's completely naked. People started throwing food at her or whatever, like, and at the very end, there was a gun on the table, and someone actually put the gun to her head. And at that point, they called off the the performance art. And people say it's not a stage, like, that's actually what the audience just decided to do. And that just shows how human nature can just turn to this evilness so quickly, because they didn't have to, like, take it that far. They could have, like, I don't know, done something nice for her, but they chose to strip her naked, humiliate her, drown her, cut her body, and put a gun to her. And that's what human beings, in the end, that's really how we are, right? So anyway, that you can take all that from a performance art. It's weird. It's not a painting of a person, right? So I'm taking a step further with postmodernism and really making my work be, really steeping my work in the internet vernacular, the internet jargon, I want people to feel like when they read my work that they're in a timeline, because that's how people are, where people live now. This is not my quote, but they say the internet used to be a place you visited, now it's where we live. So I want to reflect that in my work and in my body of work to come. That's my explanation of postmodern.
It's a really good explanation. It's really easy to follow. Yeah, people these days, people do live on the internet. It's not a place that you can just go on there. There's rarely anything good that comes from the internet. It's a crazy world out there in the real world and on the internet.
Yeah, it's a tool, right? Like, when the printing press first came out of writing, people aren't going to be able to memorize things as much. Writing is evil. It's like, you can use the internet for good, like you are, like making a podcast where I'm a black woman, you're a black woman, we're like building something positive together. Or you can use it for evil, which we can, go down that road with our political climate, but, it's just a tool like anything else. Right.
And like you said, it just depends on who the person is and how they choose to use it.
Definitely.
But well, that's all the questions that I have for you about your book. Just three more things that you can leave the listeners with. If you were to give someone advice, what advice would you give a person who's trying to pursue a career similar to yours? Writing, using art as healing, something of that nature.
Definitely. So on my Instagram, which is at Empriś.Durden, EMPRIS.DURDEN, we'll circle back to that. I posted how to be a great writer. Step 1, sit down in a chair. Step 2, write. Step 3, repeat times 50 years. And I'm not trying to be snarky with that. It's just that I recognize that it's more about being consistent than about being a flash in the pan. If, in 10 years, I'll still be here. I'll be on book number 20. That's how dedicated I will be. If you are writing every day, if you're painting every day, if you are posting on Instagram every day, you're modeling photos, you're going to get better. If you're getting feedback, it's just going to take time. And if you just have that mindset of being in the long haul, then, something is going to happen eventually. In terms of publishing, if anyone comes up to me, and a lot of people do, and ask me, how do I publish a book? Being a black person, a black woman, I will give that information freely because I want more black female authors and people in general to write. It's really not that hard to publish a book with Amazon KDP. There's 4 steps, and I'll give them to you right now for free because it's helping people over collaboration over competition, right?
Right.
So step 1, go to Amazon KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. And literally, if you don't hear anything else, just Google Amazon KDP because they will break it down for you. People have written blog posts. I literally just Googled everything from Amazon KDP. So that's step number 1. And it's free. It's pretty low cost. If you want to put a book out for free, you pretty much can with Amazon KDP. 2, I'm going to give you all the free version. Actually, I'll stick to the 4 steps. So 1, Amazon KDP. 2, make your cover with Upwork.com, upwork.com. You can find a designer and they can make the cover for you and upload it. Or you can support support a black artist or a local LA artist and commission them. But, for the cheap version, just go there and you can find someone. Or Fiverr, Fiverr, if you want something really cheap. 3rd step is the inside. So getting the actual margins and stuff, all that stuff that's really tedious and annoying, just hire someone to do that. I found a student to do it for me. Shout out to her for $60. So, and then I didn't have to worry about that. And I asked her, hey, can you show me how to do it so that way I can do it for this book? So I actually did all the margins myself for this book. It's really not that hard. You can do it. So that's the 3rd step. 4, it's an optional step. But if you want to be sold at local bookstores, right now I'm pretty much in the Reparations Club, and a few other local LA bookstores. Anyway, if you want to be in bookstores, you want to be official, then you need to buy your ISBN through Bowker.com, which is BOWKER.com. I think it's like $95 or $125 or something. But if you want your book to be official, in these paradigms that we have, air quote, then you have to buy this. But if you really don't care that much and you're not trying to get into bookstores, then just don't even worry about it. Amazon will give you a free one. And an extra bonus step, which I'm still exploring, is called Ingram Spark, INGRAMSPARK. If you put your book on there, then you can be listed in all local bookstores, wholesalers, Barnes & Nobles. And with these two things, Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark, your book can be found everywhere. I'm finishing that process up, so the book should be in Barnes & Noble soon. But,
oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, so, thank you. So, those are the 4 steps. It's really not that hard, y'all. Like, get out there and write, to summarize, step 1, Amazon KDP to publish. Google everything through them. 2, your cover through Upwork. 3, your insides, the layout on Upwork. 4, optional ISBN through Bowker.com. Yep.
Great. Okay, well, thank you so much for that advice. If anybody's listening, there you have it. Doesn't sound that hard. You just have to find the time to sit down and write.
Yeah, and also on a more emotional or a spiritual side of things, the book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, so The Artist's Way, that book changed my life. So if you have problems with writer's block or whatever, any kind of blocks, she will help you out. I read pretty much almost all of her books that I can. Like, she's amazing.
Wow, okay. I have to go pick up some of her books because I love reading and I have been in the works, looking for some new stuff to read. So I'll definitely pick up yours and hers.
Definitely. None of these people sponsor me. Amazon, Upwork, Bowker. I'm not getting any checks, y'all. Like, I wish, but no. It's just those $2 royalties off of each book. That's it. Just want to make that clear. But if you want to sponsor me, Upwork, I'm here. Yeah.
You're right. All right. Do you have any self-care tips or advice for the listeners?
Yes, I have a self-care emergency list when I feel myself slipping back into being sad or getting panic attacks or whatever. The first thing I do is take a shower. Like, it sounds kind of basic, but, showers have this kind of meditative quality to them, at least for me. A lot of people got their best ideas in the shower, like Einstein, I believe, and Euler. They were in the bathtub. Like, showers are amazing. Plus, you feel at one with yourself and you can feel your body. So if I feel really sad, I'm like, yo, I need to go take a shower.
Right.
Even when having panic attacks, that's helping me a lot. 2 would be, like, drink some water, and then 3 would be sleep. Because they say that sleep has such an effect on your mood, on your health. Like, someone wrote a book about this recently. Like, if you don't sleep if you sleep less than 7 hours a day, you're losing brain power, you're going to get cancer, you're going to get Alzheimer's. Like, really get your sleep in. And then if you're dehydrated, you can really be on low energy. So eat, sleep, exercise. Back in my college, what they told us as a John B. Irvin scholar. So get your exercise. Yoga helps me. So my emergency list would be shower, sleep, water, go for a walk, get some sunlight. Being black, get that vitamin D. Just you're a plant, be around friends. Like, not talking to people can drive you crazy. So getting a meal with a friend, and doing something meaningful towards your goals. Like, if I feel like, wow, I'm a waste of life, I haven't hit my goals, just do one thing each day. Like, trick your brain and be like, I'm just gonna write a sentence. My mom told me that when I was having trouble finishing this assignment in college. She's like, baby, just write one letter, one word, because I had been in the cafe for 24 hours, just couldn't finish it. It was my final paper, 20-page paper or something. She's like, just write one word. And ever since then, after I wrote that one word, I started writing 4 pages all of a sudden. And it's like tricking your mind. Like, it sounds cliche, but getting started is the hardest part. So that's my self-care emergency list. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Where can the listeners connect with you? This is your whole little advertisement section.
Definitely. So I'll end with a poem again, just to show not tell. Digitize Aurora Borealis sound. When he moves, he I watch, but help I cannot. When he moves, I can't help but watch. He makes the piano flood the room with digitized Aurora Borealis sound. Green, green, jagged blue, flood of peach red soaks their souls. He walks, can you call it walking? He floats. He talks, can you call it talking? He converts. When he moves, I can't help but watch. When moves he I watch, but help I cannot. Thanks so much, you all. I am Empriś Durden, EMPRISDURDEN, EmprissDurden.com, or on Instagram at Empress.Durden for daily poems. My book, Self-Love 101, Art is Healing, is out now on Amazon for a reasonable price. If you want signed copies, DM me podcast for that hookup price. Support local young Black authors, and I really hope you enjoyed what I offered today. Thank you so much, BB, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much. You're my first guest, so I appreciate this in more ways than you can tell. Thank you so, so much for taking the time out for doing this.
Have a lovely week, dear.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Take care.
You too.
Thank you so much for listening to this interview with Miss Empriś Durden. All of her information will be on my blog, so make sure you head over there so you can read up on her and to get the links to purchase her books from either her website or Amazon. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Thanks for listening this week. If you have any questions, want to share a story, or be featured in our Q&As, send them to me at selfcarebgirl@gmail.com or submit them on my blog at selfcareblackgirls.com. While you're over there, subscribe and join so you never miss anything. Subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes to help spread the word. You can also donate one time or monthly by clicking on the Patreon link on my blog. There are rewards. Thanks again for listening, and don't forget to stay beautiful.